Hey guys, what's up? Hope you enjoyed that little intro. It's Quicksilver here. Today, big plans. I think I'm going to try and, I'm hoping I can get this all into one episode, but today I'm going to try to build the mob grinder slash XP farm over there. I think there have been so many of these done, I'm not sure if there's anything new that can really be done with them out there. I've seen standard mob spawner pads, which is probably how I'm going to build it unless I happen to luck into finding a mob spawner underneath that, to using zombies to infect villagers to make zombie farms, which are pretty cool, to the sky farms. I'm not really a big fan of the way those look, so I'm going to try and actually spawn my mobs, drop them down, do a little damage to them, which might be a little new, and then mob evade them back up here similar to what we do with the cows. It's going to take a lot of water, a lot of doing, a lot of time probably, but hopefully I can condense all that into one episode for you. But before I do that, I do want to show you I'm having an ongoing problem here. The cow farm that I did that lovely tutorial about, was so excited and proud of myself for doing. It still works well, but if you remember before, I think the last episode, I had a row of blocks here to try and keep the cows contained. For some reason they just keep pushing through the fence, and when I would log off and log back on, I'd still find baby cows standing on top of those blocks sometimes. So now I've got kind of this, pillbox, you should be in World War II shooting out of that little hole trying to kill people approach. But so far it seems like it's working pretty decently. I've not really seen too many baby cows, or too many. I don't think I've seen any baby cows that have gotten pushed out, in spite of the one that just glitched through there, as I was saying how successful this has been. But he is just glitching, he's not actually popping out. The thing I don't like about this setup, as you can probably see right there, is you get the crazy XP going on, because the XP is actually inside there and is trying to come out, and it glitches out just like the cows do. My solution to that was to drop out the block at the bottom, but then I was having the same kind of a problem as I was getting with the fence posts, in the sense that I was having cows still be able to pop out of there. So I'm still kind of trying to work with this. I'm hoping maybe it's something that Mojang will consider to be a bug and they will fix, but I'm not holding my breath on it. We'll see. If not, this is a remotely acceptable solution, although I do hate leaving the XP behind, at least right now. Hopefully once I get the mob farm built, I won't mind, but for now, yeah, it's either deal with psychedelic XP or bash your way in and let half the cows out. So anyway, I think that is all that I needed to let you know. Other than that, everything else is still going pretty good here. I've done some more mining to keep minerals and resources going. Haven't chopped down any more trees lately. My bridge took less wood than I thought it would, so I still have a pretty decent supply of that. I did, however, now I'll go over here and show you, did dig this room out a little bit, so at least I have the prep work done. I still need to do the ceiling. It still looks like dirt from here. But I did at least do some prep work on this room so that I at least have the room dug out and kind of half built. I'm going to put the drop area right here where the mobs are going to come in. I'm hoping that I'll have enough room for the spawner pads and for the drop area and all that without having to do too much or any, preferably, terraforming outside. But if I do have to do that, then I'll do that probably off camera and just show you guys what I did. If you can hear, I have used some of the netherrack and again some water blocks to kind of decorate this room a little bit. I've kept it symmetrical. I might do a little more. This wall still feels a little boring to me, but maybe I'll try and hang a painting in here, or maybe I'll just do some kind of funky stuff up here above the fireplaces or something. So I don't know, but I will goof around with that a little bit, and I think the next thing I'm going to do here is probably start knocking through this wall so I can start digging the channel through here that the mobs are going to come back up. I'll actually, you know what, I'm probably not going to do that. I'll probably just wall this up, because I keep forgetting the mobs are not just going to come right up here. They will come up, the mob evader will actually happen a few blocks behind that wall, and then we'll push them over here and they'll drop down right here in the kill space. I would like to, I'm not sure, I usually will do like a loot pusher back here with a couple pistons, and you'll hit a button and it'll push these blocks forward to move any loot that's back there forward so you can grab it. But with the advent of hoppers and things, I may just throw 3 hoppers down here and a chest somewhere over here that it'll funnel all the loot drops to, so that I can get those out of there. But we'll see how that goes, and yeah, I'll let you know if I do decide to do that. But that's probably putting the cart way ahead of the horse. I don't think I'm anywhere near that point yet. So anyway, that is where we are for now. Okay guys, so here we are over my contraption world. I thought before I started on anything I would go ahead and show you guys the basic design behind this. So I think here's what I'm going to do. Let me see if I can't find a little friendly creeper egg here for us, and I'll show you how this farm is going to work. This little 3x3 area here is representative of a very small spawner pad. I will do a bunch of these, and I will use water to move the mobs over to a similar area here. It'll just be probably just 1 block wide, maybe 2 blocks wide. We'll see. But let's say a mob, let's pretend he just got washed here, so there's our little mob. He will then drop down here where he will take damage and get pushed into a mob evader. And this mob evader, because the mobs have been damaged, it does use the design that I mentioned before about every other block, which is kind of nice because I'll have to use a lot less water buckets because, as you can see, I got to go a long way up there. But it will, this way the mobs can't drown per se. Now that one little dingbat down here probably could, but I'm not too worried about him. One problem I had when I was dropping them down here was when they were hitting the stone block here to take their damage. They would take their damage and then just kind of hang out there. It could have just been because I was in creative mode that they weren't tracking me, but I have a feeling they're far enough away from where I'll be standing that that would be an issue. So I've stretched a tripwire across here that has some redstone going down here to a repeater that's set on 3 ticks, to a piston that then is at their head height here and shoves them. So what happens is when they drop down, they hit that tripwire, they take their damage, and then about a second later that block pushes out and shoves them off into the water stream so they can go, oh, there we go, he did work his way out, so they can go be mob evaded up to the top. I was just about to say that, you know, sometimes they will, because of this design with the alternating blocks of water, they will get stuck on that first block, but eventually they will work themselves through, as you saw there. Or if I throw a few of them in here, if there are multiple mobs in here, they will generally shove themselves through, so you don't have to worry too much. So let's get a little creeper party going here. And it seems like they don't jam this thing up, which is kind of amazing to me. I really thought that they might. But as you see, as they start to fight the current, another one will come along and bump them and knock them up there. And then you just really have to worry about the last mob there. But since this will be attached to a spawner pad sort of a setup, then I don't want to have to worry too much about it. So anyway, the mobs then move up here, and there you go, there's one of them kind of doing his little disco dance up there. There's the second one, and they'll just continue to do that as they pop out here. Now this will be the setup. Yeah, hello, I think they're glitching out of there. Yeah, that's what that is. I was like, did I leave a hole? I got flying creepers. Okay, so let's see, I will go into game mode 0 so I can, oh come on, really? There we go. Now I'm in normal mode, so I'm just using my hands here, and you'll see they are 1 or 2 hit kills, which is nice. And like I said here, I do have the hoppers set up here for them to land on. So the nice thing is all their drops get fed right into here. Because the hoppers are right next to the chest, it's pretty much an immediate transfer from the hoppers into the chest, so you don't really see them go up. But yeah, as you can see, I've been experimenting with this thing a little bit, so I've got some loot in there already. But just for sake of reference, oh man, I almost killed myself, forgot. Game mode 1. This is the spawner pads are right here, so they are about 4 blocks below the area where I'll be running around on. So the way this is set up, the spawner pads would be underneath my I guess the mob room that I've already kind of pre-constructed. I don't think I'm going to have enough room to do that, so I may actually move my spawner pads all around there and really use a lot of water to move them around. We'll see how it kind of shakes out once I'm digging around under my world, and we'll see what we've got room to do. I will make room if I don't have it, so it'll all work out in the end, right? Okay guys, so I've got a little more built out in here. Still sounding the same, but I did finish out the ceiling. I kind of like the way it looks. I wish the lighting glitch wasn't there, but eventually Mojang says they're going to fix that sort of thing, but we'll see. Hopefully sooner than later. Anyway, I like the kind of the inverted steps that I've got on the ceiling here that lead to this additional kick up, I guess you could say, to the ceiling, just to add some more interest to it. I may throw a couple of glowstone blocks in the ceiling. I probably will actually, because I really don't want the torch on the floor, and it would negate the need probably for the ones on the wall. So I may mess around with that and we'll see what we get there. Anyway, moving on to the mob, I guess the kill chamber, if you will. I decided I am going to throw 3 hoppers down here, just because I've done a little playing around with that, obviously, in the contraption world that I showed you guys a little earlier, and it seems pretty reliable. So I think rather than have to try and figure out how to wire in piston pushers behind here, which are going to be right on top of, or pretty much the wiring will be right on top of the mob evader up. So I think instead I will throw in my hoppers here and just run them over to this chest. So I will shift click on the chest. I think you can get to it from here. Make sure that's actually feeding in there. I think it is, but yep, looks like it is. And then I should just be able to place my other hoppers by shift clicking like that. And that should be it right there. So I will test it with that, throw it down there, and it should show up almost immediately here. Yep, there we go. So I will go ahead and close this thing up at this point. You know what, actually, I'm all crazy here. I'm using inverted steps here so that I can actually have this thing look yeah, so I can actually have this thing look pretty pretty seamless in the wall, but still be able to open it. So yeah, there we go. So now I can still open that chest to access my loot. I'd like to throw another one over here for balance. Maybe I'll do that, but it won't be wired up to the hoppers. But so anyway, there's that. Then I've begun to dig this back. Let me see if I can get this in place. There we go. I've begun to dig this little channel back, and what's going to happen is this will be where the mob evader is. It's going to drop way down low, so that's going to take the mobs up from my spawning pads and back around. I'm really starting to get worried about space on this. I think it is going to be pretty tight. I'm not sure how or if it's going to work really well without me doing some crazy terraforming project, which I'm not afraid to do, but I just concerned I don't want to screw with the natural beauty of these extreme hills. I want to make sure that the I guess that I don't get any weird bump outs or anything like that. I'm not too worried as far as the width of this thing goes, but the depth of this, the top of this mountain is not the thickest thing in the world. Let's see if I can chance going over here even though it's dark. Yeah, you can see where I've had to do a little terraforming already. I may probably try and connect these things where I was hiding some of the build that I was doing down below. But yeah, see, we're not super wide here, and then make matters worse, this kind of kicks back in. So I may have to fill this area in just so I can get a decent couple of spawner pads in there. Not sure this will be the most efficient mob farm ever, but yeah, it'll look good, and I think it'll probably work for our needs. We'll see what we get. I think our real XP farm is probably going to come from the end anyway, so I don't know that this one's going to be much more than just a farm so we can get some mob drops, arrow grinder, etc., at least until I find a skelly farm. So anyway, that is just kind of where I am right now, but I think after I make it daytime, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and dig the rest of that mob evader out and try and get the spawner pads dug, and at that point I will give you another little peek at this. Okay guys, so here we are. I'm looking up what I guess you could call it a vertical kind of a chimney, but it is going to eventually become the water column that is going to mob evade the damaged mobs up and into our mob trap. So what I've done here is this a 4x4 vertical tube that I have dug down. It's 32 blocks from where I was standing up on the very top up here. I'll show you just to be really clear here with what I'm doing. Right here, this is where if you remember, you know, this has actually been a night or so since I've done it, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but these are the hoppers that are going to lead to the chest, and this was a nice green grass the last time you guys saw it. So anyway, from right here where my feet position is, I've dug down 32 blocks, and where we land down here at the bottom is as I said, going to be the mob evader that's going to carry the mobs up, and then the water current will push them into our trap. This area right here is going to be the vertical column. Once I finish digging it out, that will, where the mobs are going to fall from our spawner platforms, take damage, and then right here at head height is going to be the piston that's going to shove them off into the water that's going to take them up to the mob evader. So I thought I would come back in here because this is actually where I've got to place my my tripwire, so that the mobs will actually have a place to trip. Now I think I found, if I'm not mistaken, if I try and place this tripwire with these blocks down here, it's not going to work. So yeah, see, that didn't actually connect to the actual tripwire. So what I'm going to have to do is pop these out, and I will then get, once I have the tripwire set, I'm going to go ahead and throw the blocks back in. But yeah, see, now that's got them set. When you hit those, you can hear them tick, and they'll do their little redstone pulse. Now I'm pretty sure, if I'm not crazy completely, when I throw these blocks back in, which I want to do so the mobs can't accidentally miss it. That was weird. I would have. Oh, you know what? It did break it. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and kick that out of there, I suppose. Huh, that's interesting. So as long as one of them is not there. Alright, anyway, so that's going to give us our redstone power, or our redstone signal now when the mobs go through it. That is then going to go down to the piston that we're going to push out down there that's going to shove them out. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging a little path back here, whoops, behind there, so that we can carry that redstone signal down to where that piston is going to be that's going to shove them out. Oh my goodness, this is not good. Okay, this is what I was afraid of. Oh good, at least there's a way out. Oh good. Ha! Well, there you go. Rule number 1 of Minecraft, never dig straight down. What did Quicksilver do in his video for you guys? Dig straight down, you know, just to make a point. You know, that's just how I roll. Anyway, well, this is good. I knew there were a ton of caves down here that I needed to light up. I could hear the mobs just going absolutely nuts when I was in here. So, yeah, this might actually make it a little easier to... wow, this is pretty cool. Might make it a little easier for me to place this redstone down here. I'm going to actually log off right now, and I'm going to light these caves up a little bit, and then once I have... Whoa, hello, there we go. Out of here, Mr. Pickles. Buzz off. Yeah, I got an iron sword for you now, buddy. Oh well. Ha! That's all you had in you? 2 little blocks of damage? My mother can do better than that. Anyway, okay, now that that excitement is over with, I'm going to go ahead and light up some caves for a little bit so I can keep that sort of stuff from happening, and also I need to do that anyway so I can increase the efficiency of our mob spawner. So I'm going to do that, and I will come back in when I've got the redstone wiring ready to wire that up so that we can get our piston in place for that. So I'll see you guys in hopefully just a little bit. Hopefully this cave network's not too horrible. Okay guys, I'm back. Thankfully the cave network that I found down there wasn't too bad, so I was able to light it up pretty quickly. It did connect to some of the other caves that I had already lit up through a little tiny hole, so it was kind of fortunate, I guess, that I dropped down in there, because otherwise I would have missed a pretty big area that was, as I said, pretty easy to light up. I have been busy. I've done a little more work here. What I did, I actually decided to widen out the drop chute here, just so... Whoa, that was weird. Sorry, not sure what happened there. My Minecraft guy just started kind of sliding forward like it was on ice or something. So, anyway, back to the hand. I widened this out a little bit here so that it'll actually be easier to, I think, run the water channels. But let me go ahead and show you what I'm doing here. I don't think that's going to have any impact on the way that I'm going to wire up the tripwire here so that this works. And I would show you actually, except I don't have my spider string with me. Anyway, suffice to say that it just like what I was showing you earlier, when something breaks through that tripwire, the power comes through back here, through our little delay, and then down here onto these 2 cobblestone bricks that are butted up to the pistons on the other side, the sticky pistons rather. So ultimately what I will do is, once I'm done going up and down this ladder here, is in the gap right here, I will throw into 2 solid blocks, so when the mobs drop down here, they'll get shoved off into this little vertical chimney that I've actually already thrown the signs in, at least on one side and half on this side. So I will actually because I think I'm prepared to do this part anyway, or at least get started on it. I'm going to make my little infinite water source right here so that I'll be able to take care of dropping in all my water sources up there. So I think that's going to work. God, I hope I didn't just cut myself off. Ah, good deal. Yay for good jumping. Anyway, I will show you up here too. I also dug out the spawner pads. I'm not sure how efficient, how much efficiency we're going to get out of here. I've thrown the water in here as well, but as you can see, it's not a very big mob spawning room. I am right to the extent though of the top of this hill. You can actually see a little grass edge along there that I had to kind of replant to do some terraforming, as well as back here. There's actually a big not a chasm, but I guess a big cave network underneath that, and it's not that far. As you can see over here, there's some dirt that's peeking through. We're not far from the other side of this hill, so I may have to try and think about some other ways that I can increase the efficiency of this thing. I'd like to have ideally more of these spawner pads. Above us is actually the room where we're going to be killing the mobs, so I can't dig up, and I don't know if I want to dig down, because any of the mobs that would get pushed out at that point would be a lot stronger when they showed up in our little kill pit. May not have much of a choice though if we wanted to get any decent spawns out of here, but I don't know, we'll see. So just to show you again, I usually like to surround these spawner pads on all sides. No, I can't get back up there. I like to surround these spawner pads on all sides by water, so that the mobs will get a nice little ride. Hang on, I could probably hop up here. Here we go. Yeah, on all four sides of them, so that it makes it quicker for the mobs to walk off, and no matter where they walk off, they're going to get washed into here, kind of pushed around. My hands are actually off the keyboard right now. They'll get shoved around into this central area where there'll be water. Still need to put down the 2 water source blocks here that will push them the rest of the way to here. But before I did any of that, I'll probably knock out all these torches. This column actually is how I've been getting up and down into the mob spawner room, or the kill chamber I guess, is right up in there. So that just worked out to be really convenient when I wanted to get in and out of here to get materials. It made life a lot simpler. So, but I wanted to show you how I plan to handle spiders. I'm not a big fan of throwing down the half slabs. It seems like every time I try to do that I have less success than I would prefer. So I'm fine with letting them go ahead and spawn, and what I like to do is I will throw lava in there, and I'll throw one in there just to make it pretty. And what happens is, because this channel is 2 blocks wide and the water is going to push right up to here, and spiders are 2 by 2 by 1, they will actually get shoved right into lava and burn up and die, and the mobs behind them will not. They will drop right in here like I'm doing right now and not take any lava damage. So just wanted to share that. It's a good little trick to handle spiders if you're building mob traps and you want to figure out a good way to get rid of them. That has worked pretty successfully for me in the past. So anyway, that is the plan. I'm going to go ahead and get the mob-evator, I guess, portion of this built in. And man, at that point I think I can probably rip out my ladders over here, and we can start trying to see what kind of performance we can get out of this thing. Okay guys, I have the mob-evator done now, so yeah, let's check it out. This is how this thing works. It is a pretty dark ride, so I don't even know how much of it you can see other than just kind of a flashing on the screen there. So I'm not going to go all the way up, but suffice it to say, it does this little zigzaggy pattern like I showed you before. I got rid of the infinite water source and just put in 2 solid blocks of water here. And again, similar to the cow farm, you can tell it's working because it kind of kicks up there when it reaches the water stream that's going to take them up. So hopefully they should swim right in there. Sometimes there's a little bit of trouble where they may bump their heads on here, but they always seem to work themselves out. At this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and put the pusher blocks in here, and then I'm going to work my way up into the main mob room, where I'm going to make the finish out the water stream that's in there, and then knock out the torches. And then I think I'm going to use the fact that this is right under there, and I'm going to exit back into the normal world right here through that little hole. So I think that's going to be my plan, and like I said, unfortunately we've got really some minimal amount of spawner pads, really only 4 full ones and 2 partials. But we'll see kind of what we get. Hopefully we'll hear some mobs rolling around in there and doing what they do, and we'll do what we do. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I gotta get these little pot lights out of here too. They're useful when you're on your way up, but I definitely don't want to leave them in there, because I'm going to need to get pitch blackness in here to make sure that the mobs are spawning to their best, most efficient rate that we can get them. I think these torches are going to be low enough. I'm not going to worry about that, just in case I need to get back down in here and work on the redstone. That's my only one fear that I may have here, is sometimes pistons will glitch out and have the heads out. In theory, I think that's been fixed, but on the off chance that it is not, I want to make sure that I can get down here and try and find another workaround to get the mobs pushed out. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be back in when it is complete, and I can hopefully show you a good test. See you in just a little bit, guys. Okay guys, so I've got the mob farm XP grinder, or whatever you want to call this thing, finished out. I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised at the efficiency of it. It's not the most efficient of farms, but you could probably tell. I wasn't anticipating it was, but I've got about 11 mobs hanging out in here in just under 2 minutes really, so they are, I mean, it does seem to be working. There are 1 or 2 hit kills for each one of them. I'm killing them using a piece of steak. It seems appropriate using the since I've got the cow farm just behind me. Anyway, yeah, carrots. Ah, sweet. So it does appear to be dropping the loot that I want. The zombies are actually picking up some of the spider string from the spiders that I'm grinding up down there. And yeah, it does appear to be doing what it's supposed to do. So yeah, I put this little dirt bar in behind me because it was nighttime and I was getting a little nervous. I may have to do something about this this wide entrance. I really like how open it is, but at the same time I'm really kind of nervous that I'm going to get creepered. Simple solution would seem to be, you know, throw something across here, but I'm still nervous at that point they could wander over the top. So I may try and do some kind of a cool sort of an entrance thing to this thing. Would seem to make sense and be in line with things, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'll probably try and come up with something. Okay guys, so I've given it some thought, and since I'm getting such low efficiency rates here on the mob spawner, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, and I've actually started to, but I'm going to dig down a layer below here, where I think it's going to be a little wider and I can dig out some more of these mob spawner pads, and I will simply mobovate the mobs up here using the similar sort of a situation that I'm doing to get them back up into the kill chamber. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and drop down here, and maybe I'll pull a little quick vignette so that I can show you what I'm doing and how I'm digging all these things out without causing the length of this thing to get too out of control. What I'll do once I have the mobovation done is I will go ahead and I'll throw the water over top of here just like we've done before, so we'll wash them up and out. That'll leave me 2 dead spots right here and right here, but I don't think that's going to be too big of a problem. As far as I think the additional mobs that we're mobbing up here and then over are going to far outweigh any slowdown that I might see from these 2 spots. So we'll Okay guys, so it's not a huge addition, but it should add a little bit more efficiency to our mobs. Also, I think because it's a little deeper, we stand a better chance of actually spawning mobs when we're in the kill room. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I am how I'm controlling my water by using steps and signs to extend my water streams. So I guess the first thing I'll do is I'll show you, this is probably a simple wait, I apologize for the lag. I've got rain going on outside, so it's lagging my machine a little bit. So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm digging out at my intersections, just popping out the 4 blocks here. I'm going to drop down steps in here facing the direction I want the water to continue to push. In this particular case, since I'm doing it on both sides, since the water will be coming from this direction as well as this direction, I'm going to put in steps on both sides. Then 1 block back from that, I'm going to throw a sign. And actually, let me make another sign here really fast. Probably have to get rid of some of this junk in my inventory here too. Oops, only one of those. Alright, there we go. So then on the other side I will do that. Now what happens is when I throw my water buckets back into this corner, and I'm actually going to use 2 of them so I can get a straight flow, it stops when it gets to here, and if you were a mob this is where you would stop as well. But since I have the signs here, I can drop that out and the water won't go down, and when I do this the water will come out but it will stop where the steps are. So effectively what happens is when a mob wanders off of here, which they will do because it's not that high of a drop, so you don't need signs or trapdoors or anything like that there to try and trick them. They'll just walk right off into the water stream, but they will get pushed this way and then down and then right up the steps. So what I can do then, because I have signs there, actually let me get my crafting table here and I'll go refill my buckets really quick. What I can do is when I refill those guys, when I come back over here and I place water here, now it's going to flow up that direction, but well, actually, you know what? I have 2 more signs. Let's go ahead and make it so that it doesn't. I'll throw those 2 down. Now, when I throw my water back here on these steps, what I end up with is my water channel going this way. This is exactly what I did upstairs, but lost some video footage, so I was not able to show it to you, so it's kind of fortuitous that I've got this going in down here. So what happens now, if I take my hands off the keyboard, a mob drops in the water, goes around this corner and gets pushed this way. Where you can probably guess I'm going to do it again here, only I'm going to funnel them this direction, and then when they get to here I'll have a water channel that will funnel them this way into the motivator where they will go up into here, into our pre-existing streams. It'll push them down where we want them. So that is in a nutshell. Okay guys, wanted to show you one other thing where I have a 3-way intersection like this with water. What I'm going to do so that I can continue this primary water stream down to the next junction, I guess you could call it, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the water flow in all 3 directions so that I can continue this one, which, bear with me, it's a little tricky there. There we go. So we have that kind of a configuration with our, with our steps. And then I'm going to throw our signs back here again, you know, one block behind. Really? Gonna throw my signs one block behind here. Okay, so we've got those two guys in, and again, these two are pretty much boilerplate, just like we've done in the other areas, except I just ran out of signs. But anyway, as you can guess, this one will stop just shy here in the center, and we'll push them here. This guy will push them onto these steps as well, and that one will do the same when I'm done, but because we'll have signs blocking water flow here, here, and here, then when I put more water here, it will only flow this direction, and it won't backflow into here or into this column and cause a problem with the water flowing the wrong direction and causing just general mayhem. So I'll go ahead and do that here really quick. I can place that sign. Oops. Let's see. And there we go. Pop that out, that out, that out, and that out. And then when I get my water in place here, it should only flow the one direction. Yep. So you can double check all that as I fight this current here. You can double check all that by looking at it from above. You'll see the water current flows nice and smooth this direction, and then this guy pushes right into it, but there's no, the water's not going backwards. It's all nice and easy. And then the same thing you'll see is happening on this side. So if we were to take the mob that walks off in this corner, gets bumped into that corner, he'll pick a direction. Either way, it doesn't matter. He gets pushed down here, gets pushed into this stream, which is then going to redivert him here. Again, you know, right around the corner. Up, this is what we just worked on. And we're shoving them down to here. So the way I will handle this, where the water stops a little short, is we'll just cheat a little bit here, and we will drop it down one level a little further back. And again, it'll have the same effect. It'll push them down here, they'll just drop off there, and it'll push them right to the steps where we want them to go. So I'll do the same thing on this side. And then just shy of finishing out any water streams that we need to back here, like that guy, we're about finished here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into Alright guys, I'm back, and I'm really kind of pissed off because I recorded about probably 45 minutes worth of video that I was hoping to edit down for you guys on finishing this thing out, and believe it or not, I did lose it. So I thought I would go back in here at least and at least recreate the last half of this. The spawner pads are indeed working down there. I'm hoping maybe I can encourage them. I might be a little too close for them. Maybe if I move over here I can encourage them to kick somebody out. But I have, I don't know if you can hear them, there are a couple of mobs right now actually floating around in the chambers. Hoping maybe I can encourage some to come up here. I've seen a few of them pop up here, so things are working properly. We'll give it a minute here. If we do see some, I'll try and record it for you. Oh, there we go. There's one. He just came popping up. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. But yeah, so we at least have proof of concept there. He's fighting the current trying to get to us, but didn't work out. So we will see him upstairs in just a minute or two. So okay guys, there we go. So I think just to show you how I got out of this mess, I did just pop the torches and kind of run while hoping that I wouldn't get jumped by anybody. I used this way to get out. That made life a lot simpler. I'm not going to be able to get that little torch, so I'm just going to sacrifice him to the torch gods and not worry about it. And the only thing that I have to remember to do is destroy these dirt blocks behind me as I bash out the torches. And that way we can make sure that it's nice and dark down here. But by placing the dirt blocks in here, these little bridges, I guess, makes life a lot easier to kind of travel around here. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm too close to these guys to get them to spawn down from down below, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I know there are a ton of them up there right now. You might be able to actually hear them right now. I think I don't like that lava does cast light in here. Maybe I'll find a way to change that. I don't know. Probably not worth it. I guess I could have them go around a corner, but I don't know that I want to go to that trouble. Like I said, these spawn rates here are pretty decent. They're still not the best they could be, but I think that by lighting things up a little better, I'll be able to fix that. So, kill these guys off here. And life is good. And everything's filtering over here where it should. Ah, cool, we got a potato. Sweet. I'll start growing those guys then too. Add them to the farm. So, alright. That's pretty much going to be it, I think, guys. I'm going to go ahead and head back now, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. I apologize. I think this one's probably going to be a little long, but I did want to make sure that I was able to at least show you some of the build process on that in case you want to do something similar in your worlds. Please like this. Please subscribe if you have not already. If you have, I thank you. And I'm really kind of amazed at how some of this is starting to take off. So please send me comments, subscribe, like, etc., etc., and I will see you next time.